Okay, so in this lesson, lesson 6, we covered 4 movements again. The first 2 is 单边, which we have done several times, and 手挥琵琶, lifting a lute. So for now, you should be familiar with the 单边, single whip, and 手挥琵琶, lifting lute. We have been doing this quite several times. So if you want to look at the details, go back to my previous lesson. So here's something new. 野马分鬃, the wild horse separates the mane. We have a 左野马分鬃, which is left, and the 右野马分鬃, which is the right. So you're doing like one on left side and one on right side. So how do we do it? From 手挥琵琶. So 左野马分鬃, 手挥琵琶. From 手挥琵琶 to 左野马分鬃. Wild horse separates the mane left. Dropping your right wrist. So it's more like a chopping. And with your left part of your body not move. So if you look at this side, you're dropping it. So you're not doing this. You're not chopping yourself. You're low sinking the elbow. Okay. So you're not doing this, or you're not doing pulling. You are dropping. Sink your shoulder and drop your elbow, and bring the wrist down. And notice that my left arm is not moved. Okay. So on this side, drop. Okay. Again, your thumb of your front hand is at the level of your nose, and it drops. Okay. And here's the tricky bit. Next is you turn your wrist. So now your thumb is pointing forward, and so your fingers are pointing to your left. See if I can get closer to my camera. So you shake, turn. Okay, so it's turning. So now notice that your thumb was originally pointing upward and your fingers are forward, and then you turn 90 degrees. Okay, so like that. So it is important that when you do your Tai Chi Chuan, your hands are not like this. Okay, you have stretch your back of your hand and your fingers and your thumb. Just give it stretching. Okay, so remember that Tai Chi Chuan is a martial art or wushu. Even it is when it is modified into a sitting form, the ingredients or the spirit of it is still here. So it is the power of Tai Chi Chuan come from not by contracting of the muscle, but the stretching of the fascias. So I think I'll talk about that more deeply in later videos. So, but as for the sitting form lessons, just bear in mind. So you always see my hands stretching out, not overstretch, because otherwise you'll be stretching this side of the palm. You're stretching this side of the palm. So a little difficult to understand just by watching the video, but try to do it. Okay, so if you have questions, please ask, leave a message. in my YouTube or my Facebook page. So, okay. Now, your body is still facing front, and your left arm is not moved since 手揮琵琶, and you have turned your right palm. So again, this is on the same line. Okay, it is just below on top of your thigh. So just like in Yun Shou, your arm is just on top of your thigh, so you can turn freely. And okay, now turn your hip a little. This is it requires a lot of coordination. You turn your hip to your left, and this is not enough, so you pull your left shoulder blade and then try to close your shoulder to your left hand that is not moved. Okay, so by doing this, you are stretching this side of your body. Okay, you're stretching this muscle. You have a muscle that connects from your lower back and right to your upper arm. I forgot what it's called, but so if you want to know more, you find some diagram or books about the about muscles. Okay, so you're stretching it. So you're not leaning, you are stretching your back and your shoulder blade and closing your shoulder to the left hand and remaining looking forward. So basically your chin, your shoulder and your left palm joins into a point. Okay? It has applications, but I'm not going to talk about this in this class, in this lesson. Okay, eventually you'll be looking like this. Dropping right hand, turn your right hand, and then close it. See it? So your right hand will be at your left waist. Okay, so it's not up below your underarm, you're not at your rib, it's try to stretch it at your waist, okay. So we go on this side, you see I'm not quite leaning forward, I'm just stretching. Okay, and my left arm is not moving much, even though it's a little like pulling back a little. It is mainly because I stretch this side of the body, so my whole body turns a little, and I want to remain my left hands in this center line, so I have to compensate so that my right shoulder will eventually close to my left hand, and I remain looking forward and keeping my spine straight. Okay, so this is why it's important you keep it stretched, and stretch all the way from your shoulder blade to your shoulder joint, and then your upper arm, through your elbow, through your forearm, through the wrist, and then to the back of your hand, to your finger and your thumb. So it's all stretched. Okay? Then lean forward. So now my body is stretched on my right part of the body is stretched. So I lean forward. Okay, and then closing my wrists at my front left 45 degrees. So now my body know my previous move, I turn my hip a little and then do my stretch. So don't forget to turn your hip. So the maximum should be about 45 degrees. If you cannot do it, then that's okay. You keep practicing. Eventually you might be able to do it. Okay, so try as much as you can. Then you lean forward a little, lean forward, and then so if I sit at 45 degrees this side, okay, lean forward and then see it? So it is in front of my throat as a protection in the martial art application. Okay, this is closing. And then separate both hands, separate the hands. So now your right hand, go back to the right shoulder height, and again this is bent, so it is chopping, okay? And so we do it slowly. In Tai Chi Chuan practice, even though the application is like this, okay, it's fast, but it actually is like a spring. But in practice, we just want to do it slowly and maintain the feeling of stretch. So this is how you practice your fascias. You stretch and then try to maintain this feeling during the movement. Okay. So remember that rectangle that I talked about in the Lou Shi elbow, brush knee and push forward. You have this rectangle. So now your right wrist is now at this upper right corner of the rectangle, and so this when we have an upper and lower hands, we just simply call this is your upper hand. It can be your right hand and it can be your left hand. So we call upper hand, and this is your lower hand. So your upper hand now is at the height of your shoulder, and your lower hand, it is about the height just below your rib. So you are chopping. So you're chopping your enemy's neck and at your rib. So now that's it just as just a standard height of your practice of Tai Chi Chuan. And you look at your lower hand in the movement of Ye Ma Fen Zhong, or the wild horse separates the mane. So on this side, okay, notice that. So again, you are sinking your shoulder and elbow and bring the wrist out. So you're not doing this, no, you're not doing that. No, you're doing this. And also, so you separate both hands at the same time, and they reach the final position at the same time. Okay. Now we just did the 左野马分钟, which is the wild horse separates the mane, left hand. Now we do it on the right side. So remaining this part of your body not moving, and then open your hip, and then bring your hands back. So it is just like the 手揮琵琶, lower hand of 手挥琵琶. and because you was in this position, so you bring it in. So see if I 45 degrees this side. Okay. Again, sink in shoulder, relax shoulder, sink elbow, and bring the wrist down. It is important that way. And then, similar to 左野马分钟, your 右野马分钟 is, you know, in the 左野马分钟, the left, you start turning your right hand in front of your belly. And in 右野马分钟, because your hands are already open, so you start turning your wrist there and then bring it in all the way. Again, you turn your hip and stretch this side of your body from your lower back and stretch it all the way through your shoulder blade and through your shoulder, through the upper arm, and then through the elbow, through your forearm, and then through the wrist, and then the palm, and then to the fingers and thumb. So that is turn, close. Okay. And also remember that you have already leaning forward at this point. Okay, so you remain leaning forward. Good. So you haven't sit up straight yet. Same again to your front right. Now your front right. Now your left palm face to the front and your right palm face down, and your right hand on top, and then separates. Now your left hand now becomes your front hand or upper hand, and your right hand now becomes your lower hand. And again, your left wrists are now at your upper left corner of your rectangle of your body, still remaining leaning forward, and your right hand just chopped below your just below your ribs, and you're looking at your right hand at your lower hand. Okay. So let me do it again. 手挥琵琶, and then lowering your right hands, turn, closing it, leaning forward, closing your wrists, opens, turn your, closing, and then open. Okay, so I know it is difficult to learn just by the video, but I try to do my best. And if you have questions, then please leave a message. And there are 2 more lessons to go just to the completion of the sitting 32 movements sitting from Tai Chi Chuan. So keep practicing.